find a way to instill confidence in the
Yeah.
in the system again. You know.
Well, and that's why I always
important.
appreciate your openness too. Like I've known Travis for years.
Yeah.
I worked with Travis, who's their PIO for years.
Yeah.
And they won't say a word.
Yeah.
And they hide from you, and they hide meetings, and
Yeah.
they do things. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's really the wisest
No,
course
just
of
creates
action.
more
Yeah,
speculation.
you
Yeah.
guys are always really open, good, bad, or otherwise.
Yep.
You're sitting there with it.
Yep.
So, you
Yeah.
know,
You want to leave that pen on?
Thank you.
that's why she's here.
That's why she's here.
Take care of these things.
That's
so.
right.
I guess just start with, give me sort of the state of the schools now. Obviously, you're going to be positive. It is the first, coming into the first day of
Yeah.
school, but where do you think Beaufort County schools stand right now compared to perhaps last year?
Yeah, well, I think we're in certainly a much better place. Our projections on how our students have done are stronger, and I think that's an important piece. I think what we're offering for students continues to be enhanced and to be improved upon. So we're excited about what we offer our children for this upcoming school year. We think it's obviously going to build upon the work we've been doing.
Oh, is there anything new, or are you talking about the offering for kids? Is there something out there that you'd like to focus on and saying we feel like we've got a different kind of offering in this case?
Well, we have, I think really the enhancement of what we've been doing, AVID programs, which we brought on board, and are going on to a second year now, and I think that's an important piece, and we're starting and initiating within some of our schools. So, for example, on Hilton Head, an AVID program as well, and I think that's really important because those programs teach students the resiliency, the perseverance, the determination, the goal setting on the front end, so that you can set your targets and then work towards attaining those targets. And so that's part of those AVID programs, and I think it's really, really essential.
How important do you think are the alternative education programs now, especially beyond just school, prepping kids for that next step?
Yeah, I think it's important because, one thing we've learned, choice is important to parents. And they want choices. And so the choices that you have available through either our career and technical education programs or through programs like AVID or advanced placement coursework or Cambridge or International Baccalaureate on Hilton Head, all of those types of programs are interesting and important to parents, and they want those things that are going to challenge their students, their children, that are going to help them think critically, and I think that's what these things are designed to do. And so we're excited about the menu that's out there for parents.
Are you seeing the numbers go? I don't know if you probably don't have them offhand.
Don't have them yet because they're still in the process of registering. Last year's students are re-registering. So we don't really have that yet.
I find it really interesting, like going to May River and seeing the welding program over
Yeah.
there as something completely different that you wouldn't think is connected to schools. Is that kind of the idea? Because it also, I assume, brings more kids to school every day because they get those kind of programs?
That's right. And I think there are some students that, are just all in on the academic challenges, right? And they're driven by that and they do that. But you have other students that get hooked into the academic learning through like a welding course, for example, right? And that's really something that fascinates them, interests them. And some kids, maybe it's ROTC programs, So the variety personalizes the learning for kids, and it connects them, and that's part of the engagement piece. That's one of our critical components in our strategic plan. Our focus remains to push our students to 75, 75, 92, which is 75 in ELA, 75 in math, and 92 in graduation rate, right? And as part of attaining that bold and audacious goal is pillars that we've set, and those pillars have objectives within them. So one of them, for example, is support, to make sure we're providing the right supports. One is engagement, to make sure that we're providing the right engagement to students that are interesting to them, the programs that hook them and connect them and want them to be at school. And then in addition, then you have the achievement component, making sure we're pushing our students in their own outcomes further, and then providing good stewardship for our system. And so those are important pillars in that strategic plan. All ties into the academic programming that we build for kids.
Is that some of that coming from the leftovers from COVID? I mean, we're 4 years now from COVID. That alternative idea, or that idea that kids, just had a different experience for a while there.
Yeah, I think, part of continuing to grow that academic recovery is in certain areas is important. In ELA and English language arts, right, our scores are the highest that the district's ever had within the current state assessment. And so we're projecting we're going to see growth in that from the end of last year's numbers, right? In addition, math has proven the area that has been impacted the most nationally, and that proves to be the one that's the most stubborn to continue to move. But we're seeing progress in that and in growth. Interesting, on the COVID piece, the students affected by COVID that remain in the system, right, are still in middle school years and in the high school years, right? And so we've got, we see the impact that's been there. We continue that academic recovery to push them forward. So we believe that we're pushing on the right things, building on a sustainable growth for our students so they continue on that trajectory. And we're seeing it.
Are you still seeing the effects of COVID in those students, those middle and high school
Sure,
students?
yeah, we still see that. But I think we continue to wrap supports to specific target those areas that seem to have the greatest needs.
Would you believe, my assumption is you're going to go, yes, of course, but will they be as far along as the previous generation of students in high school, et cetera, pre-COVID, when they get to that graduation point? Do you believe they will be back up with everyone else, or are we going to see this for another 10 years as we try to pick up?
Yeah, this has been a multi-year recovery process for students, because the ones that we have in middle school and in the early high school grades were in their foundational years, right, when that impact happened. So this really the group that I think has had the greatest impact. So that academic recovery is definitely the hardest. But, we keep it in the rearview mirror, right? We set the goals, and we don't want to make COVID excuses around it. So what we want to do is focus on the improvement and the academic recovery that we can make for students. And many students have already met, and exceeded, sort of where they were, right? We still have a chunk that we're continuing to push forward and recover some of those key foundational pieces that they needed.
Beyond recovery, were there things you guys learned through that experience that you've now taken forward, going, if we change this, or how we can do this instead?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have, one of the things we've taken from it that I think has been impactful is our extended learning sites and the partnerships with our community partners. We continue to sustain those partnerships that we fostered and developed through that experience, because it's making an impact, and so how we organize and partner with our ecumenical partners or Boys and Girls Club, right? That has changed as a result of that, and I think it's actually better and a little more strategic now.
Well, even the businesses, looking at what I would call the aviation program over in Beaufort, that
right.
connection back to that, you're trying to reach out there once again for the alternatives, but also to get these kids thinking in a different direction.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of program, I assume, is something you want to expand
Yep,
throughout the district.
without a doubt. That's what we want to do. And we also have some grants that we had initiated, like cybersecurity grants, a program through the MSAP, which is a math and science program grant through the federal government. And so that's one that we will proliferate what we've learned around cybersecurity to build into other schools. Right, that's also impacting how we even roll out AI initiative at a school that we're piloting. So it's it's really interesting.
Talk to me a little bit about that, the AI initiative you're.
Yeah, so Bluffton High School this year is going to be piloting an AI initiative that our team has built, sort of provide some parameters around it and some support in learning and understanding how to use the AI components effectively within schools so that we can proliferate that and roll that out. A lot of our students and kids use that, right? And teachers use it, and there's a lot that can be gained from it. And so we just want to make sure, we're understanding it, learning it, using it responsibly within our system. So.
How do we battle the AI and the kids just plugging in, saying, now write this for me, or do whatever it is? I mean, how much of a challenge is that?
Well, some of the tools that we have can detect AI usage in essays and things like that, right? So it's designed to provide our teachers the support that they need in order to make sure that our students are continuing to build authentic work that really challenges their critical thinking. But these are tools that they need, right? And tools for the future because it's a part of our world now, right? And so we want to make sure that our students are getting responsible exposure to how we effectively use these tools.
You're seeing that as a challenge, I assume, coming up this year. I mean, a lot of students are talking about it, saying, all I have to do is plug in AI, change a couple words, and I've got a thing instead of actually learning the
Yeah, and I think that's part of the teaching and learning process that has to adjust as we move forward, right? So that we still want to train some of those critical thinking and decision making skills that are important as part of it. So I think that's just something we're looking at expanding within our system because AI is a real part of society today, right? And so we want to make sure that we're utilizing it responsibly and that our students are utilizing it responsibly and then getting the most out of the tools.
And you've spent a lot from that level of making sure the teachers that you have are good, they're taken care of, and they're here. Talk to me about what that process has been like, where we are now, which is significant difference from when you walked in the door not that long ago. I guess it's been longer than I thought now, hasn't it? So you're 5 years in?
This is my 7th year.
7th year instead. So I guess maybe talk to me about what you're doing. I mean, the teacher idea, you have invested significantly. The district has invested significantly in teachers. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So we're excited that this year we've raised our compensation for teachers. Our first year teachers compensation is going up to over $60,000 this year, right? And so that puts us as near the top of any school district in the state of South Carolina, and begins to bring us into that median range nationally. And I think that's an important piece because you want to attract high quality educators, and so that's one of the things we've done this year that I think is really important. So one of the things we're seeing already, the impact we're seeing initially, is that we're going to be going into the school year with fewer vacancies than last year and even the year before. And so the objective is attract higher quality educators, and then we continue to support their work and initiatives, provide them with high quality curricular materials to utilize in their classrooms, and then focus on the quality instruction within the classroom for students.
And how is retention factor? I know that's your goal too, is to try to keep them for as long as possible too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things we continue to try to work at. So we want to make sure that we're providing great working conditions for people, that we're providing the support not only in the working conditions but in the collaboration. We know that teachers love the collaboration experience, and that's part of what builds teamwork and camaraderie, and it's an essential part of creating greater outcomes and opportunities for students. So that's the kind of thing we focus on. We have professional learning communities that as a system that we use, where our teachers work together and plan lessons together, really dissect what are the needs of the students that they have, what's the data showing them along the way, so they can make really important instructional decisions for children.
Are you seeing the difference with the teachers' retention, with the money that's going in to try to get those better teachers? You feel like you're getting a better quality education and kids going out better served for college and beyond? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, our numbers continue to show that there's improvement in student outcomes, right? I think that our career readiness, for example, numbers are some of the highest the school districts achieve. We've moved our graduation rate higher every single year. And so we're continuing to strive for that, and personnel is really an important part of making that happen.
You're looking at something like Hilton Head High, building a brand new school on top of their school, kind of as it is. Where do we stand now with, you said population is growing around here. Is it going to be, while we're going into the school year and that's what you're focused on, are we looking at need for more expansion and again, potentially continuing the process of an East Blast again?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we want to make sure is, we've got a brand new facility that's coming up there. There are other factors that I think, we also need to consider. We're building a new elementary school on the May River campus. That's important and that's needed. And I think one of the things we have to look at is our existing facilities. We've got Ladies Island Middle, where it will be under renovations soon. It'll start from the 23 bond referendum. And so enhancing our facilities is an important part of what we're doing.
Would you think 26 may come another bond referendum for us, or are you going to let the county deal with their own instead?
I don't know that 26 is our timeline. I think we're working on completing the 2023 bond referendum projects, and that's going to take a little more than 3 years. So we don't necessarily want to do anything before we're showing the community and the public that we're completing the tasks that they charged us with their support in that bond referendum. So just like we did with the 2019 bond referendum, near the very tail end, and so the timing was right to get to the next step. So I think we'll have to take a look at our situation again as we get closer to the end of that 23 bond referendum, and then work with our community to determine the next step.
Because you really learned a lot between 19 and 23 to get that passed too, on what the people would want, the specific projects, et cetera, to make sure that would happen.
Well, one of the things we definitely did was we had a community project review committee that really looked at the facilities that we had. That was done in 2019. And that was an important part to our community members. And so in 2023, we did the same thing, and we initiated a community project review committee 2.0. Right, and they did fabulous work. They really dug into our facilities and our campuses and understood the needs that were there, and were a part of that decision-making process on what was on that referendum. So a process like that involving your community is really important, and I think we would definitely do that again.
We talked before, and I kind of said I may not talk about it, but I think it's important for somebody to get. The state's still going through their book review process.
Yes.
They're asking asking Beaufort County
Yep.
to go back and look at books again that they've already looked at, basically. While it's a board decision, not yours, while it's a state decision long-term, not yours, do you feel that Beaufort County did enough the first time and that this shouldn't be a rehash of what happened previously?
Well, I feel like we had a very thorough process in place. And we followed the state's model process. We even added an extra community voice into that process. And so those there were resources that certainly were expended through that process. And I think that we definitely gave it its due diligence through that work. Our committees made decisions about those books, and those moved forward, were supported by the board. Recently challenged again and went up to the state. The state reviewed several of them and then sent 15 back and said, we want you guys to do those again. So that's part of that process.
Yeah. Challenging because it takes some of it out of your hands when it becomes the state, no matter what sort of happens on the local side.
Well, the state has authority to make decisions on that.
Right.
Yeah, and so I would say the challenging part is just that we've been through a process. We've been through a process that has had a review of material. So it's just going through it again.
You talked about it 7 years that you've been here. What do you think the biggest thing that is that you've learned in those 7 years as you go into the 7th year now?
Yeah, I think the what I've learned I think to do on a personal level is manage 15, 20 glass balls at one time, and I think that's a requirement really, and so tackling those issues, trying to bring solutions to issues as they arrive, trying to use foresight to think ahead. The problems that we deal with and that we see arise, but there are many others that we are able to fix and handle and deal with that don't ever surface or show up because we were able to get in front of many of those. So those are the challenges of running large organizations, and I'm excited about where we are here in Beaufort County. I'm excited about the progress that we've made, the progress we continue to make. I'm grateful for a supportive community that supports the work that we're doing, and I think we're continuing on that journey and on that trek to help our students achieve their highest potential.
What do you think is the biggest challenge, maybe even this year, next year, or the next 2 or 3? Is it going to be AI in that connection, or is there something else you look at and say, this is what I need to focus on?
I really think there's probably multiple challenges within the field of education. On the one hand, there is a national shortage of educators, and so I think colleges and universities across the country aren't seeing the number of students entering those colleges of education like they used to. And so that is one of the challenges that school districts face. I think innovating around solutions to deal with those kinds of issues are going to be very, very important. AI is a part of how that interacts and intersects with the work that we do as educators in our preparation of children for tomorrow. And it is a part of tomorrow. It's a part of today, So those are all really important things that I think lie ahead as we continue our work.
Is there concern about funding challenges with the federal government changes and the potential dissolution of the Department of Education?
I think the unknown is a great challenge right now because, for example, dollars associated with special ed that are federal dollars at the moment. How something is going to happen, but what is it and what does that look like? And then that impacts school districts at a local level. It'll impact our state as they take on additional responsibilities, and it will impact school districts as things shift. And so it's sort of the unknown that is at the moment the greatest challenge.
So because this year, when it comes to lunches, breakfasts, etc., you guys are set for
Sure.
this year.
Yeah.
It's that question that you're looking at 26, 27 and beyond where you're not sure.
That's right. I mean, the dollars with respect to this year really were approved in the prior year, right? And so this year there'll be approvals for the following year, right? So for this year, I think we're in a good place, and they just released any other really the other federal dollars yesterday or a couple of days ago. That's not the issue. Really, it's going to be, what does the change look like, right? That is really the unknown that we just don't know right now. And how does that change affect critical programs or critical services, whether it's special needs, as an example.
Yeah, because that's the hardest part, is not knowing, I guess, especially for you who wants to plan ahead and wants
Sure.
to be on top of it.
Sure.
And look at it, go, well, what do we do now, or how do we do this
Yep,
too? So
that's right.
that's a challenge. Thing you're looking forward most to this school year?
I'm looking forward to getting started. to be honest with you. There's an energy and an excitement that comes with the first day of school and the beginning. And so I'm looking forward to, and I'm very excited about that just on the horizon. So you know, schools are quiet places when in the summers, you know. So we're excited about our children coming through our doors, and we're excited about serving them and providing them great opportunities.
It's like you've done this once or twice before. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I was going to post the long